How are my levels? Sweet. Welcome back to Love Uninterrupted. If you are new here, I am Love. Welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Happy to see you or talk to you. I have a message. Let's get into it. I know that you are afraid right now. The fear that you don't want to acknowledge exists, is you don't want to give it energy, but it is there. It is present within you. You are being guided each day to certain actions. And the way that you are being guided does not appear to put you in benefit as you could see. But you are being asked to trust the guidance, to continue to trust the process, to continue to trust yourself, to continue to have radical trust in God, knowing that despite what it appears, you are being cared for and all things are happening for your benefit and good. Failure is a fear. Feeling that you have disappointed others, you have not met their expectations of you. In these moments when fear arises within you, when uncertainty rears its head within your mind, attempting to sow seeds of doubt or seeds of fear, in those moments, do something to fortify yourself. Listening to the voice of God is one of the most challenging things to do. Trusting in a force that is unseen, acting on the guidance of that force is terrifying. Everything that you're being told, you're given step by step. You're not being given all the details or all the steps at one time. So you're given a step and then you're asked to wait, to trust in the instructions that you've been given. It is, at the time of this recording, 3:22 a.m. And I have been guided throughout the day in various ways, receiving instructions on slowing down, not attempting to rush a project. So I've been given instructions throughout the day, but I had fallen asleep and awoke at 3 and felt the pull to record the path that one takes when they submit to the will of God is not one that anyone else can understand except that person. And even then, the individual's understanding can only go so far. There have been a number of experiences in my life that have shaped who I am today, and the ideas that come into my mind, and the subsequent actions that I take. As I sit here and speak, as I sit here with fear behind my eyes, if that makes sense, fear of failure, fear of judgment, even I can I can feel some level of shame within myself as I think ahead, as my mind projects into a future situation where the choices and the actions that I have taken lead me down a road of disaster. Earlier this evening, I watched a interview with Dr. Phil Stutz on the Rich Roll podcast. It was an interesting interview for me because I am a student of psychology and the human mind and how it operates. But some of the things that he talked about, shame and guilt, and this was in relation to the host of the show, of course, but I could not help but to listen to his words and internalize those things for myself, which gave me an opportunity to see where my weaknesses, if you will, lie. I'm using air quotation marks around the word weaknesses, because these emotions, these feelings of fear and shame are not weaknesses. They are simply emotional expressions. They are a part of the emotional landscape that we have as human beings. And the more that we attempt to evade those feelings, the more often we find ourselves in situations where those feelings will surface, will come to the surface for us, will come to the surface of our emotional landscape in order for us to become familiar with the emotion and what its purpose is and how the emotions serve us. As you all listen to this recording, and you have listened to other recordings that have been posted on this channel, you will notice a difference in what is coming forward through this message. Because I am a spiritualist, I do believe in spirit, I believe in that cannot be seen, but I am also rooted in practicality. And although I will continue to bring forth messages from the spirit realm that are beneficial for you as a listener, I can feel that I'm being guided in this moment to redirect the information that is provided here so that it is rooted in a true value, something that each and every listener can grab hold of, can take something from each audio experience and implement it in your life in some way. The things that I have spoke of on this channel before are things that are within my ability to do. But each one of us here on this planet are having very real experiences, and Holy Spirit is aware of that. The shifts that are happening in the lives of the human race at this time is one that is at its most accelerated, and because of the nature of the landscape with technology, it is also one of the most confusing times for some, because there's an influx of information, very little direction, and even less focus on individual connection to a higher power that is connecting each one of us individually and all of us collectively to a larger picture, a larger goal, a larger something much bigger than ourselves, something much bigger than our own personal desires and agendas, even though our own desires and agendas will be accomplished the way that we are being led, each and every one of us, consciously, whether we are consciously aware of it or not, each and every one of us are being led in a very specific and unique way for the purpose of the design and will of a higher power. So as I continue to bring forth information, bring forward messages that may be of benefit to someone listening, these messages will be partially personal messages. What I have noticed over the last few days as I have recorded is that I am receiving a message in the moment as I'm channeling, as I'm simply opening myself up for the words to be given to me, if they are not ones that are thought of ahead of time or prepared ahead of time. And so I'm being instructed in the moment as I'm also receiving instructions for you. Each one of us has a specific cycle that we operate on, like a life cycle. That life cycle can be understood within a 24-hour period. The message that I received earlier was that you are beginning to learn your cycle. You are beginning to learn the time that is most optimal for you, the times that are beneficial for you and your energetic imprint. And so as I recall this message that I received earlier in the day and recognizing, I should say, the time that it is now, and also putting together messages from, again, the last few days, I'm beginning to get a glimpse and as to how I am being prepared and how I am being utilized at this time. I want to talk about our feelings a little bit because most human beings are ruled by their feelings, by their emotions. They allow the circumstances that they are experiencing. Let me find a better way of saying this. We have learned that circumstances will cause certain emotions to arise within us. And this is true. Circumstances do elicit, they trigger, they incite a certain emotional response. And unfortunately, our educational system has failed to teach us the ways of emotions. Thus, we get thrown about here and there, or we find ourselves caught in an emotional loop in expectation of an event to happen. I'm being really guided to talk about the emotions of shame and guilt, or shame and fear. All three of them somehow are coming up. As I speak, on these emotions, I am brought to the cause of these emotions. And again, as I said, if you have listened to my audio recordings before, this is a different recording, one that has been guided in this way. I'm always following the energy and following the instructions, and so this is the message that is being brought forward. Guilt and shame are forms of anger. And when we think about emotions, anger is an emotion that is typically directed outward, whereas shame and guilt are internal. They're directed inward. And all of our emotions are designed to protect us in some way. That is their function. And the practice that we are being guided here through this audio experience is to restore our boundaries surrounding shame and guilt, because if not properly directed, it is detrimental to us versus being there as a personal boundary to support us. This message is coming because the things that you are desiring, the goals that you have, the dreams that you are envisioning, and the ones that you want to attain are being held out from you because there is something within your emotional body that is requiring adjusting or an adjustment. As I say these words, I want to clarify that I am not a doctor, but I am guided by the Holy Spirit, and the messages that come through are beneficial for someone. And I am simply sharing my knowledge with you, knowing that Spirit will allow these words to land and connect with whom they are meant to connect with. Guilt and shame, these emotions are vital and they're irreplaceable. They actually help you to mature into a conscious and a well-regulated person, which is the goal for all of us. It is to be well-regulated within ourselves is what it helps us to move through our life experience. It helps us to meet in or exceed the goals and directions or directives that we have for our lives. And all of our emotions help monitor our behavior when we become conscious of our emotions, when we become aware of them, and more than just aware of them, but aware of their benefit and how they can serve or what they serve in our lives. All of our emotions, including the emotions of shame, should be free-flowing. However, most of us have been conditioned into suppressing certain emotions that we deem as negative or bad or not good feel-good emotions. And so when we fall into the habit of suppressing or projecting these emotions, the result of that is typically behaviors that sabotage our lives, compulsive behaviors, addictions, which makes it difficult for us to really stand in our power. So over the next week, what I feel is the messages that will come out they're going to, again, be different Some may be the same as the messages that I have brought forward thus far, but some of them may be vastly different. I'm flowing with this difference, and as it comes through, I'm just going with it. Again, constantly affirming and following the guidance of Holy Spirit as I am, here as servant, doing what is being expected of me, delivering messages that are beneficial to those that have been guided to me. So I'm going to end this message here. If you've reached this portion of the video and you are still listening to my voice, you are extremely unique because I'm unique, obviously. If you've listened to any of my messages, you'll see that the messages are different every time. I mean, literally. And so you're extremely unique because I am crafted in a unique way, and those who are guided to this channel, I know, are crafted in similarly a unique way. So count yourself as a cool ass person because you were guided here to my spot, and I am truly grateful for that. With that said, if you found value in this video or in this message, the easiest way to show your support is to subscribe to the channel. A greatly appreciative way to show your support is to donate to the channel. But also, I would like for you to simply be on the lookout for the offerings that are coming through the channel every single day as I work and build this platform. I am being guided in ways that are pulling me out of my comfort zone, but also pulling me in the directions that are near and dear to me, in the directions that really speak to my inner desires, my inner soul, and coming to the realization of that every day. And again, continuing to lean. I have to keep saying that, continuing to lean on radical trust in the divine, radical trust in the way that I'm being led. I can feel that what's coming forward is going to be beyond what I had intentionally predicted. So I'm saying look forward to the offers that are coming because I'm anxiously looking forward to them as well. So with that said, I hope to talk to you next time. Peace.